So, Bob, we have a lot of people signing up on Thanksgiving for Turkey Trots. How do we deal with all those people coming to the website?
Yeah, good question. I hope it holds up. Yeah, so last year we had 730 races with 756,000 people sign up. This year it looks like we're going to have over 810 races and close to 900,000 people sign up. And so what happens is that race morning, people are going to those race websites and finding directions. They're going and checking on their bibs or their shirt size. People are being checked into the races. People are uploading photos. And then people are looking at the results. They're looking at their photos. Last year, our peak minute was 24,000 pages per minute. So meaning that 24,000 people were hitting the site all within the same minute, right? I don't know how many per second that is, but it's a lot.
I think it's like 400 per second. I
Yeah.
just did the math in my head. I didn't look at the screen.
You are so clever. I knew what the answer was, but I like to make it sound bigger than 400.
I could edit that out. I won't, but I
No,
could.
you could, but definitely don't. So actually, your brother Steven and I were just chatting about this, about whether we wanted to upgrade anything that was in our normal infrastructure. So in our normal infrastructure, we have a bunch of, kind of DNS routing that comes in from Amazon Web Services. We run everything on AWS. And then it comes into about 3 Nginx load balancers, and then that loads it across 8 different web servers. And that's our normal configuration. And what happens with a request, what we try to do is we also utilize Amazon's CloudFront network. So if people in Morristown, New Jersey are going to the Morristown Turkey Trot page a lot, the static types of things like the images on the cover page and things like that all get stored outside of our infrastructure actually. And so that image doesn't have to be played from our infrastructure. So that helps out.
So you're saying it goes off to a cloud thing to pull the pictures? Is that because...
So what Amazon has is they have this thing called CloudFront. And when you're in a page, have you ever seen the HTML that's in a page?
Yeah.
And inside the HTML, there's like a reference to an image. So it'll have a little image tag, IMG tag, and then it'll have a URL for that image. What happens is that CloudFront has probably like a couple hundred locations across the U.S. that are local. And so, say somebody in California is checking the cover page for the Oceanside Turkey Trot. What happens is the first time it has to go to the eastern U.S. to play that page and to play all of the resources that are in that HTML, like that image. So that image actually is coming from the back end here in the file storage, S3. And so then it gets played out, but CloudFront is smart enough, and the way that we've set up the configuration and everything, CloudFront sees, oh, here's a static image. Oh, here's a JavaScript file. These are static for this page, oceansideturkeytrot.com, right? So it says, okay, I know what this page is. I know what this resource is. I don't have to go back and pull it from the main server again. I'll just serve it from this server that is sitting in Ventura, California or something.
Okay. And how long does it stay on that server?
It stays for like days, I want to say.
Okay.
And part of the software that we write when we put stuff together is if a page changes, say that Oceanside Turkey Trot page changes, basically it clears the cache that's in all the CloudFront servers. And so it says, oh, you have to, next time you see this page, it's like, delete all that old stuff that you knew about the image and get it again, even if it's the same image. So
if a race director makes a change, everyone will see it immediately.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. I'm just thinking about how different this conversation is than the one you just had with Steven. I know nothing. But now I know a little bit. So
Yeah. And that first request will take a little bit longer, probably not long enough for people to notice. But it is traveling across the country. So it may go through a number of hops. And so it'll be a little bit slower on that. But the real benefit is that our servers aren't doing any work to pull it out of S3 and to process it and to shove it down the pipe. Or else it would be coming from, through the loads. It would take some cycles on the load servers and it would take some cycles on the web servers.
Oh, okay.
And so that just saved those cycles.
Cool.
And so for those 24,000 pages per minute, like a lot of that is not even touching our servers. Only a small amount of each request has to touch our servers, but just a small amount of processing. If you think about most of the pages that are on our site, they're made up of static resources. And then what we've done is we have this layer of caching between the database and the web servers. So a page gets requested, it hits the web servers assemble the information, and part of that assembly of the information might be the top 10 list in the race or something like that. And what happens is that if that information is already in the cache, it doesn't have to go to the database again. So you have these 8 web servers that are calling these 16 memcache servers that are then calling. We have about 4 databases in the background. So we have a main database and a shard database. That's for kind of the non-critical types of tables and information. And then we have replicas of each of those. And what the replicas do is that they allow for kind of expanded usage, and for when we're only reading, say, a result or reading a photo, we only have to go to the replica. We don't have to hit the main database server. So all this put together allows us to have a very, very scalable system. And we designed it such that any one of these layers, we can actually add additional servers very, very easily. Now we have some automation that's in place for some of these levels. And so web servers will automatically get added if they hit 80% CPU across the 8 web servers that we have. So Stephen and I were saying, we were just discussing, should we add some more? And we decided, let's see how stuff actually works. And so so Thanksgiving morning, Stephen and I are going to be by our computers watching all these different graphs and metrics and management report output that either Stephen has built or some third-party tools that we utilize as well to see how all it goes. And then on Friday, I'll put out a public blog and either admit defeat or celebrate success. And hopefully it's celebrating success.